Dubai is one of the most polished travel destinations on Earth. Everything looks futuristic. The airports feel ultra-modern. The hotels look almost unreal. The malls are enormous. The streets are clean. The service feels highly organized. And for many travelers, Dubai initially feels almost too easy. But that's exactly where many tourists make mistakes. Because Dubai is one of those places where the city looks extremely relaxed on the surface, while still operating under very different cultural, legal, and social expectations than many visitors are used to. And most travel problems in Dubai don't happen because tourists are in danger. They happen because people misunderstand the environment completely. So, what should travelers actually avoid in Dubai? What mistakes do tourists repeatedly make, and which ones can seriously affect the experience? Today, we're going to break down the biggest Dubai travel mistakes visitors should realistically avoid, including weather expectations, cultural misunderstandings, scams, transportation issues, public behavior, budgeting mistakes, and why Dubai often feels very different from what people imagined online. One of the biggest mistakes travelers make is assuming Dubai is only luxury. And technically, yes, Dubai absolutely has extreme luxury. But that version of Dubai is only part of the city. Many first-time visitors arrive expecting the entire destination to feel like five-star resorts, infinity pools, beach clubs, rooftop lounges, and futuristic skyscrapers everywhere. Then they arrive and realize Dubai is also massive highways, long distances, construction, heat, traffic, residential districts, and huge areas that feel far more practical than cinematic. This disconnect surprises many tourists, especially because social media often compresses Dubai into a very small luxury bubble. The second major mistake is underestimating the heat. This is probably the biggest physical shock for many travelers, especially between roughly May and September. People see temperatures online and think, hot beach weather. But Dubai's summer heat is much more aggressive than many visitors expect. The issue isn't just temperature. It's the combination of extreme sun, heat radiating from buildings, dry desert air outdoors, humidity near the coast, and constant transitions between outdoor heat and freezing indoor air conditioning. Even short outdoor walks can become exhausting during peak summer months, especially in July and August. This is why many travelers accidentally planned Dubai incorrectly. They build itineraries around daytime outdoor exploration, then suddenly realize the city functions very differently during extreme heat periods. People move between malls, hotels, restaurants, cars, metro stations, and indoor attractions. Dubai becomes much more indoor-oriented during summer. That doesn't mean summer is impossible, but expectations matter enormously. Another mistake many tourists make is assuming Dubai is fully westernized socially. Dubai is international, extremely international, but it still operates inside the cultural and legal framework of the United Arab Emirates. And this is where many travelers become careless, especially in public behavior. For example, public intoxication, aggressive arguments, public disturbances, extreme disrespect towards staff, or highly inappropriate public behavior can create far more serious problems than travelers expect. The same applies to public displays of affection. Dubai is usually more tolerant than many outsiders imagine, especially in tourist-heavy areas. But tourists often misunderstand tolerance as anything goes. That's not how the city operates. This becomes even more important during Ramadan. Travelers who visit during Ramadan without understanding local etiquette sometimes accidentally create uncomfortable situations, especially around eating in public, dress expectations, public behavior, and nightlife changes. Dubai still functions during Ramadan, but the atmosphere changes significantly, and travelers who adapt respectfully usually have a much smoother experience. Another surprisingly common mistake is choosing the wrong area to stay in. Dubai is much larger than many people expect, and distances matter far more than travelers realize before arriving. Someone books a cheap hotel far from the areas they actually want to experience. then suddenly spends huge amounts of time and money moving around the city every day. This happens constantly because Dubai's map looks deceptively compact online. But in reality, locations like downtown Dubai, Dubai Marina, Palm Jumeirah, JBR, Old Dubai, and Dera all create completely different experiences. And transportation time changes the psychology of the trip dramatically. Dubai also creates a strange budgeting illusion. Many travelers arrive expecting either extreme luxury pricing everywhere or surprisingly cheap Middle Eastern travel. The reality sits somewhere in between. Dubai can become incredibly expensive very quickly if you constantly use taxis, premium restaurants, beach clubs, luxury hotels, and paid attractions. But the city also has excellent public transport, affordable food, local restaurants, and many mid-range options. The problem is that tourists often fall into vacation inflation. They slowly normalize expensive spending because the environment constantly encourages upgrades. And by the end of the trip, the budget feels wildly different from what they originally planned. One thing many tourists also underestimate is how artificial parts of Dubai can feel emotionally. This sounds strange at first, but many travelers arrive expecting a deeply traditional Middle Eastern atmosphere everywhere. Instead, Dubai often feels more like a global business hub, a luxury tourism machine, and a futuristic international city. Some people love that. Others feel disconnected from it. And travelers who only stay around luxury districts sometimes leave feeling like they never experienced anything culturally real at all. That's why exploring areas like Al Fahidi, Old Dubai, Dera, traditional souks, and local neighborhoods can completely change the emotional experience of the trip. Another mistake is trying to do too much too quickly. Dubai looks visually simple online, but the city is psychologically overwhelming in a different way. Massive malls, huge roads, large-scale architecture, constant stimulation, luxury advertising everywhere, heavy tourism zones, long indoor walking distances. After several days, many travelers become more tired than expected, especially because Dubai often lacks the natural walkability and slower rhythm travelers find in older cities like Rome, Kyoto, or Istanbul. And once fatigue builds up, the city can start feeling repetitive. This is why shorter, more intentional itineraries often work better in Dubai. Many experienced travelers treat Dubai more as a comfort-heavy experience, rather than a non-stop sightseeing destination. Another important mistake involves photography and social behavior. Dubai is extremely modern, but travelers should still be careful about photographing people without permission, especially locals, families, or certain government-related locations. Many tourists simply assume the rules are identical to Europe or North America. They aren't. And while most travelers never experience problems, awareness matters. One of the most misunderstood parts of Dubai is safety, because Dubai is actually considered very safe in terms of violent crime for tourists, especially compared to many major global cities. People often walk late at night feeling extremely comfortable. Public spaces usually feel highly controlled and organized, but that safety sometimes creates overconfidence. Travelers begin assuming there are no rules, no cultural expectations, and no legal boundaries. That's where mistakes happen. Dubai works best for travelers who understand the balance. The city is modern, international, tourist-friendly, efficient, but also structured, controlled, and culturally very different underneath the surface. So, what should tourists actually avoid in Dubai? Avoid assuming Dubai is only luxury, underestimating the summer heat, treating local rules casually, overpacking itineraries, staying too far from your priorities, and expecting the city to behave exactly like Western Europe or North America. Dubai is one of the easiest luxury destinations in the world to enjoy, but it's also one of the easiest places to misunderstand completely. Because beneath the futuristic skyline, Dubai still operates on its own rhythm, expectations, and social rules. And travelers who understand that usually end up having a far better experience. Not because the city becomes less impressive, but because it finally starts making sense.